Hello, everybody, and welcome back to This Diz Life podcast. I am your host, Mark Valentine, Disney enthusiast, annual pass holder, DVC member. And as always, I am so honored that you're joining my show today and helping me live my best Disney life. Welcome to season 2, episode 2, where we welcome the one and only Vicky Mouse 321 to the show. Before we get into the show, check out our website over at www.thisdizlifepodcast.com, where again, you can find all of our episodes from season 1, along with our blogs from our team of contributors. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave us a rating and a 5-star review. So I'm super excited to be welcoming Vicky to the show. She is a friend from afar. I became a gigantic fan of her work over on Instagram. We're going to talk about her photography and just her overall Instagram, which is really, really inspirational. I became a big fan of it, reached out to her. The two of us have been dialoguing back and forth for really the last month. So I was really excited when I said, hey, listen, we have season 2 coming up. I would love for you to come and sit down with us in the Enchanted Tiki Room studio and share your Disney life with us, because it is, I love her Disney life. I'm a huge fan of her Disney life, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, my audience. So the one and only Vicky, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you. I really cannot wait to get into your Instagram, but really, I love your story. So welcome to the Tiki Room studio. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you. Can't wait. This is going to be exciting.
Like I said briefly in my intro, I'm a huge fan of the Instagram. For those of us who are out-of-staters, your photography and your Instagram stories really bring me home. They are like chicken soup for the Disney lover's soul. So thank you to all of us who follow from afar, because you really do bring us the magic in your Instagram feed, and you have these magical images that I know you take a lot of time and you dedicate a lot of care to crafting these amazing images that you put up, that, let's just say, Vicky, they give me the feels, and they really make me feel like I'm there with you and that I'm at home. So thank you to all of your fans. I am a fan that you bring us the magic. And for those of us who can't be home, you bring us a small slice of home with your Instagram. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate all the followers. I really do. And yeah, I just do it I do it for everyone. It's not just for me, it's for everyone.
I know, and I sense that too, because you're really good with your stories. The narrations that you offer, they are very, very much like mini vlogs. Mm-hmm. That, when you're in parks, you have these small clips where you're speaking right to us, the followers, the people that follow you on Instagram. And they're just really fun. They're just really fun to follow you throughout the course of the day. And I'll be like, oh, Vicky's in Magic Kingdom today. And I'll see you'll post on your story of you pulling through and you're like getting parking. And then I'll reach out with an emoji. And I'm like, oh, she saw it. She's getting on the ferry, or she's getting on the monorail right now. Mm-hmm. So I very much feel like I'm there with you. And it's just really cool. It's really cool. It's a really interactive approach to Instagram. I like that you're kind of redefining that medium for Disney creators, so that we're living through the parks with you. But I want to talk a lot about that too. Like, I want to get very deep into of that as part of the story and your story today. But the way I always start, so I don't know how many of the pods you had a chance to preview before I asked you to come on, but I start every single episode since season 1 with asking all of my guests to share the beginning of their Disney story and their Disney life. So that, what was it for you? Like, what was the moment for you when you realized you were like a Diz nerd, you were a Diz fan? Like, what is the genesis of that? Was it a family trip? Was it a film that you saw? When did this start for you?
It started at a very, very young age. When I was little, Santa Claus didn't come to my house because I was afraid of him. Mickey Mouse came to my house. So it goes really far back.
Wow.
Really far back. So Disney has always been part of my life. My grandparents lived in Florida. So my very first trip to Walt Disney World was probably when I was 1 or 2 years old, before I even remember. I was very young. We won't say the year because I don't want to date myself, but let's just say it was a very, very, very long time ago. Well, also before Epcot was around. Shh, don't tell.
That's okay. Dwayne Willie comes on the show and he shares. He told me today. I was listening to a podcast with Dwayne, and he said today he's sharing a birthday with Disney, and I was like, dude, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm a few years there, but we're getting there. But it started at a very young age. I was young and I loved Mickey Mouse. I had a Mickey Mouse, little stuffed Mickey Mouse and a stuffed Minnie Mouse, probably from the time I was 2 or 3 years old. Always had Mickey Mouse in my life, always had Minnie Mouse in my life. So this has been part of my life for my entire life.
Now, so you were not originally from Orlando. Where did you move from?
I am a New Englander. I am a Connecticut girl, born and raised.
Oh, there you go. Okay, mm-hmm. Wolf and Wookie are from Massachusetts. Oh, so they're part of our network. So we're all many of us we're all out of staters. Like all my admin, Dwayne and Lori are from Maryland. Melissa Eckler's from Ohio. I'm a Pennsylvanian with my wife, obviously Linda. The Wolf and Wookie, who do a podcast on our network, are from Massachusetts, and we're all like. We all just we want your life. We want to be where you're at right now. How long have you been in Orlando?
I've been in Orlando for 5 years now.
Wow. You just did it.
We just up and did it. We decided I didn't like the cold winters anymore. I was over it. We said, let's give it a try. We were going to give it we were giving it 5 years. Yeah. 5 years is here. We're not going anywhere.
We just got a foot and a half of snow last week.
Yeah, that's why I don't live there anymore.
So I'm showing John Hidson's he's our one Orlando native of the team. He's our one Orlando native. Mm-hmm. And I sent him pictures of the snow and he's never seen snow. He joked around. He was like, no, thank you. No, thanks. Yep.
Nope.
So what did you do? So prior to moving to Orlando, what did you do? What was your profession?
My profession, I have been a travel agent for the last 30 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That COVID destroyed that career. So, womp womp. It is what it is. I'm not really okay with it, but I've accepted it.
Yeah.
So
it has not been easy on the travel industry.
No, it has not.
Mm-hmm. And you're still doing that, correct? You're still.
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not at all. I am unemployed at the moment.
Okay.
So,
but you and I talked offline, and you did share your you shared some of your profession that you said that you are a cast member.
I was a cast member.
Was a cast member.
Was a cast member. Mm-hmm.
And what did you do? What did you do with Disney?
I actually my real Disney job. I was a Disney recreation. I worked the marina in the Polynesian, letting everybody take out the boats. So that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Sounds like
that was actually a lot of fun. And I highly recommend it. If you ever have the chance and the boats are running, I think they're down at the moment because of COVID. Yeah. The marinas are all closed. Recreation is, stopped. But when it reopens, go and take the little speedboat out. It goes like 20, 25 miles an hour. You take it around Bay Lake. You weave in and out of the ferry boat. Try not to get hit. But you hit the wakes from the ferry boat. It is so, so much fun. Probably one of my favorite things to do.
Hey, that's a hot tip. Yeah.
Great tip.
That's a hot tip.
So much fun.
You don't hear that. You don't hear that suggested all that often. I mean, people get, I am very guilty of this. People get tunnel vision when it comes to Disney, that they
go to parks. That's it.
They think only in terms of parks. Mm-hmm. And Disney Springs is an afterthought in many cases for the out-of-staters. Yeah. And water parks are kind of like a 1B. Okay. And 1B. I love the water parks. I know we're going to take this off-beaten path. I'm sorry for a second.
That's okay.
I do love the water parks, but I never really prioritize them unless I'm doing like an 11 or a 12-day stay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens to a lot of people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm really parked out. And then I'm looking at the rest of the agenda and say, listen, I've been to the Magic Kingdom now 5 or 6 times. There's only so much I can do that again. Let's go to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach for the day. But even then, it's a half day for me. We don't do the water parks from sun
all day. No,
it's just a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. So, but that's awesome. Like that's a hot tip, ladies and gentlemen. When recreation resumes, you heard it here with Vicky. That Mickey Mouse 321 told you, take out the boats.
And you can take out any size. You can take out the little itty bitty speedboats that run around. You can rent a pontoon boat. It's not even that expensive. I think it's $40 for a half an hour out on the water. Wow, and you're literally cruising around Bay Lake. It's so much fun.
And that's worth it. I mean, that's really worth it for the price. I mean,
and the little ones, you get like 5 or 10 people on. You can bring coolers on. You can bring everything on. It's so much fun.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that. So we like to do also like quick hits. So I want to do some real quick hits for you.
Sure.
So, and I always know too so like you are a local now too. So Piano Rob kind of said this, it's different when it's a local versus someone who's coming like on
Absolutely.
vacation. You know, and I can see that. I sense that too from your story. Sorry.
My Disney life now is completely different than what it was when I was coming down. I would jam pack in as much as I could in 2 or 3 days. We would go sun up to sundown, you know. Now an hour and a half. I went literally to Epcot today to take pictures of the brand new fountain. I spent an hour and a half taking pictures of the fountain. And if you look at my stories, they're there.
All right, so so now that you said that, because it would be kind of silly to waste that and jump around. Well, I'm going to come back to quick hits at this point.
Okay.
So that's one of the most fascinating things to me about your craft and your art is I know this from you because we've conversed offline and you've told me that you have sat for and you'll say, Mark, I sat for an hour and a half to get this picture.
Yep.
So here's a fun fact. So ladies and gentlemen, again, check her at Vicky Mouse 321 on Instagram. The pictures are mind-blowing good. The first picture I ever saw, she took a picture of the Millennium Falcon at Galaxy's Edge, which is I have to tell you, it's actually the screensaver on my phone.
Oh, thank you.
It is legit, and I'll show you a screen cap. It is the screen shot on my phone. So it is the backdrop of my phone for the lock screen and for the home screen. That's how much I love this image. But I saw this image and I said, wow, this is art. This is Disney photography at its absolute finest. And then we talked offline and you would share with me the amount of time that you'll sit in a location to get the lighting, the crowd levels right, and everything, the absolute perfect way that you want it before you're going to even start to snap.
Yeah. I'm a little bit crazy.
No, it's admirable. And I'm telling you this. And I want to throw that story out there so that when those of the people that are listening and then go and check you out on Instagram, I want them to understand that image did not come, simply by
easily. No, just standing there taking a snap and walking away. Nope, none of them do.
It's amazing. And some of the time lapses that you do over in the World Showcase and the way that you play with the light and stuff, it's amazing. I'm a huge fan. So John Hinson's our resident photographer as well. And he really should be conducting this interview because I'm just a fan. He really is. He's the techie when it comes to the photography stuff. I just love consuming it. And I've said to John, it is the medium that I love more than anything because a picture can, it's the old Chinese proverb.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the old Chinese proverb. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Never has that been more true than your Instagram. I have to tell you.
Thank you.
I have to tell you. And I'm not joking and I can hold it up. We're doing this via Squadcast, so I can hold it up for her and show her in the camera. But wait.
There it is.
Oh, look at that.
Probably one of my favorite pictures too. It really is. I love that shot.
I think it's one of my favorite pictures I'd ever seen. And that was before the Instagram really started blowing up. And before I just started getting really busy, I used to do my 5 favorite artists of the week. And I would reach out and say, hey, I'd really like to feature you on Instagram. And I want to do that again. The problem is it's not finding pictures that I like. it's putting in the time to get in touch with people,
Mhm.
to get permission to use it. Cause that's the other thing. Like I'm a strict adherent to like, I never repost or show a picture that's not mine unless the artist and I have had some kind of dialogue to say, hey, listen, I would really like to showcase this you. I'm giving you full credit, but I'm not putting it on my story or I'm not putting it on my page without your permission. And that sadly, that would take a lot longer than I started to get once the podcast blew up and there were other things at work. But I'd really like to start doing that again because that practice led me to you and really to a fanship that I've had ever since. So I got to get back into that because I was discovering some cool artists.
It really is. It's a lot of fun. I try to do that too from time to time. And you're right. It does take time to get into every person. It's like, okay, this is going to take a little while. Maybe I can't share that one, but I understand that one for sure.
Yeah. So of all of the photos that you take, and again, you're so good because you shoot all of the parks, no matter what park you're shooting in, the pictures always wind up beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you.
What is the hidden gem that you love to photograph? You can just go and snap it at different times of the day in different seasons. What would you say is the hidden gem, your favorite?
Well, my favorite
to be an icon.
Oh, my favorite thing to photograph is it's cliche, but Cinderella Castle.
Yeah.
There are so many different things that you can get out of it. I found something the other day, which I have never seen before. If you go over to the castle, which is, you can find it next to Cinderella's fountain, underneath the fountain, there is all the mice and Lucifer. I have never seen it before. I have been to that fountain 100 times and have never found that. I noticed it noticed it for the first time the other day. So I love finding new things. I love finding different shots and different views. So whatever I can do to make it my own, you can see a million pictures of the castle straight on front. It is what it is. It's cliche. She's beautiful. She is absolutely beautiful. It's probably my favorite thing.
So, for some people, it's a very controversial question. I'm gathering that it may not be for you because you just described it as beautiful. What are your opinions?
There's not even enough words. Everybody hates it. I love it.
Yeah.
I know I'm in the minority on that one, but I absolutely love it.
I am too. Like I've said to so many people, I don't quite understand the complaints that are coming. You know what it might be though? And here's just my theory.
Change.
There you go.
Change.
There you go.
No one likes change in the Disney community, and I don't understand why, but that's what it is.
And one would think that community would embrace change because Walt so clearly said, it will never be finished. He said, it will never be finished.
Nope.
And you're right. You're 100% right. Maelstrom forever. Again, I'm a little guilty of this. I was one of the Great Movie Ride fanboys but once, and I said I was wrong. I will never be that way again. In the second podcast, I came out with the phrase that John Henson and I echoed several times over the course of the run of the show. I always trust Disney, but I was one of the Great Movie Ride. I will miss it, and then I saw Runaway Railway and I said, nope, I will always trust Disney.
Incredible. Runaway Railway. It's always so hard to say. Runaway Railway.
It's a mouthful.
It is. It really is. I love it. I'm a Star Wars geek. I grew up with it. It's my life. It is my life. I will ride Mickey and Minnie and not even worry about Rise. I love Rise. Yeah. I'll take Mickey and Minnie. I don't have to deal with the crowds. I don't have to deal with anything. I can go wait in line and do Mickey and Minnie. It makes me happy. It's a fun ride.
It's really
they did
fun.
An amazing job with it. And that one, you find something new on it every time. You find a new hidden Mickey every time. You find some little hidden gem. You find something new on it every ride.
So I love one of my favorite things that I love to do. I don't do it as often as I'd like to on the podcast, and I really should start doing this more often, is to have an Imagineering question. But I've Imagineered, and I love the Three Caballeros with Mickey Don and with Jose and Pachito. I love it.
That's my favorite Epcot ride.
It's mine too. Can you
Mhm.
imagine though? Can you imagine the technology? And Disney does this all the time. Once they find a technology that is working and it's like knocking
Yeah.
people over,
Mhm.
can you imagine that projection mapping technology in the last room of the Three
That'd be
Caballero
really cool.
with Coco?
Mhm.
And again, I'd be very sad to see, because Donald Duck is my favorite character.
Mhm. I love him. He's
Can
my
you
spirit
imagine-
animal.
He's mine too. Can you imagine though?
Oh,
Can you imagine that room as the land of the dead?
that
and
would
the
be cool.
And the finale, obviously, with the stage, you wouldn't have to do a major overhaul. It would still
No.
be an amazing boat ride.
Mhm.
But to have the projection mapping all throughout that ride
Yeah.
and the various scenes,
Mhm.
I'm telling you right now, Disney, please take that idea and run with it. Because I mean, I don't think I would get off that ride in that case because it's one of my favorite movies
Mhm.
and it's one of my
It's
favorite
so
ride
good.
experiences. Yeah,
It's so good.
playing pretend now too and imagineering like photo sessions. I
Mhm.
want to just do this with you.
Sure.
So who would be your favorite character to photograph, like in a modeling session?
Oh, Daisy.
I love it.
Absolutely Daisy. She is, and I've actually done that a few times with her. She, pre-COVID, everything's pre-COVID, but she is so much fun. You can get so much interaction out of her. She's the best. She is the best. She is so much fun to photograph.
She has a soft spot in my heart. It was my daughter's first character meet and greet.
Oh,
Daisy Duck. The first Epcot was our first day.
Mhm.
We walked right in. You know how she's right there on the right.
Right there on the right. Mhm.
She was right there. And I have this picture. My daughter was like 3.5. She still wasn't sold on the idea of characters.
Mhm.
You know how like little kids are still a little apprehensive?
Mhm.
So she was, but Daisy was so good to her and so good with her. It was the greatest first interaction. And like, I'm tearing up. I was tearing up at that moment. So Daisy has a sweet spot in my heart.
Yep.
And to get back to Runaway Railway, it's a mouthful to say.
It really is.
How great is it? Does Daisy not steal the show?
She does. She absolutely does. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Love it.
Whenever you do it for the first time, that is a gleeful moment. But then I loved on the repeat times with people doing the choreography.
Oh yeah, always. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
So,
Let's conga.
so what character would be of like this photograph, like the meet and greet? Who do you think would be the hardest to photograph? Who would be like a diva? Who would fight the camera, Vicky? Who would fight you?
Who would fight the camera? Let's think about that one. I would have to go. Actually, no, Sheila. I'd have to say one of the villains would probably fight the camera, but one of my favorites to photograph because she's amazing is either Maleficent or the Evil Queen. The two of them are incredible. I'm going to probably say Ursula would fight the camera.
I think she would too.
I think she would.
I think she'd be really hard to sit down with. I think she would be really difficult in a session. Total diva.
Total
diva. And the Evil Queen is a fun photo op over at Artist Point.
Yeah.
Hot tip, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never eaten at Artist Point, of course, like this all has to come back. Character meet and greets and character dining is suspended right now. But when it comes back, if you're listening to this, if you have not eaten at Artist Point over in the Wilderness Lodge, it is one of the best meals on property because the characters are incredible. You get to meet Snow White, Dopey, Grumpy, and the Evil Queen. But the Evil Queen photo op is a one of a kind at that park. And she's really like, one, she's it's a great photo op, but two, the interaction that you get in that moment, bar none, it's one of the best you get on property. So that leads me to, so how about this? Who is your absolute favorite photo pass with? Who's your favorite photo to take?
Oh,
It can be gone too. So it can be gone because mine is gone.
What's your favorite?
Baymax.
Oh,
I love me them squishy hugs. Baymax.
And a fist bump. If you can get him to fist bump, it's so much fun.
All the time. Yep.
That's a really good one. The princesses are always fun for photo pass because they're interactive. There's There's so many good ones. I love character meet and greets. I love character meet and greets.
It's not an easy question.
It's not an easy question. It's really not, because it depends on my mood that day too. It depends on what I'm looking for. Do I want to have a fun conversation with Alice or Mary? Because that's usually a great time.
It's a jolly holiday with Mary.
It really is. And she is always an amazing meet. Always.
Great.
I've never had a bad meet with her.
100%. Great. One of the best interactions in the parks.
Mhm. I love me some villain meets too. It is. Love me some villain meets too. Probably.
I was going to say, if you want to come back to it, I could come back to it.
One of my favorite all-time meets was probably Gaston. He is so much fun because it's all about him. He would not let me take pictures of him unless I used my phone in selfie mode.
Really? See, I forgot about Gaston. I forgot.
He's so much fun. That is such a great meet.
No one croons like Gaston.
No
one.
But that's such a fun meet. And like I said, I do love me some Baymax. Gotta love those squishy hugs and a nice fist bump. If I'm feeling down and feeling a little sad, I'll go get a hug from Mickey Mouse because that always makes me feel better.
Can't go wrong with him.
Nope, not at all.
All right, so I didn't give you this one before a show. Favorite Mickey meet and greet. You have to pick one though. If Mickey in any outfit, where do you want to see him? Where do you want to see him?
Any outfit.
I'll give you mine.
Epcot.
Okay.
Classic Mickey. Classic Mickey.
I don't hate it. Sorcerer Mickey though for me at Hollywood.
Really? Sorcerer Mickey's he's a fun one. He really is a fun one.
I love
I love the classic meet.
And Hollywood Minnie. I love the two of them.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Have you seen her dress at Topolino's? How beautiful is
I know. The mini dress is amazing. Daisy's dress is amazing too in there. Love that girl.
It almost makes the eggs worth $40. It really does.
That painter's dress is beautiful though. With I love that dress. When I saw that for the first time, I was like, amazing.
The only time I'll pay $40 for the eggs and not complain because of the characters and how cool
the characters. Yeah, not anymore. Not right at the moment. Hopefully they'll bring that back too, because I can't bring myself to do it right now.
So hot tip for us here at home. What do you think is the most photogenic ride in terms of while riding it, you just get the coolest shots of the park?
Slinky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slinky.
Yeah. You used to get the peak over into Galaxy's Edge before.
Yep. And you still can.
And you still can.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
Slinky.
That makes a lot of sense. What is your favorite snack to photograph? Most photogenic snack?
Probably it's not the most photogenic, but it's my favorite snack to photograph is a Mickey pretzel.
Okay.
Because again, it makes me happy. The big smile on the face.
Yep. The floats are big online. Everyone loves snapping photos of their floats. Because the colors.
The colors.
They're amazing. They really are Instagrammable. They pop.
They do.
But I love the pretzel. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Wall photos, cliche?
Purple wall all the way.
Okay, so I was going to say, are they overdone? Are they cliche or are they always a hit?
Well, to kind of give you an idea, because again, I'm a little crazy, I went around the parks one day and took a photo with every single wall in all 4 parks in one day.
I don't, again, there's
why
no
not?
judgment.
Why not?
No judgment. 4 parks in one day. It's a made up thing, but it is the most fun made up thing that whoever came up with the idea. It's so fun. The photo with an icon, snack or meal, photo with a character, and a ride that you have to do all 4 in the parks. We had so much fun doing that challenge.
That is child's play. Child's play. All 4 parks, every ride in one day.
Whoa. Challenge accepted.
I've done it 3 times.
Challenge
3 times.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Vicky's laying down the gauntlet right now.
Come on.
If you thought you were flexing with 4 parks one day, she threw the gauntlet down. Challenge accepted. I like it. I really, really like it. All right, so let's circle back now because I want to do quick hits.
Okay.
Vicky, Mouse 3, 2, 1. Real quick. First thing that comes to your mind, out with it. Favorite park?
Magic Kingdom.
Good call. Favorite ride?
Slinky.
Favorite snack? I think I know this one.
The pretzel.
Yep. I was going to say it's the pretzel. Which is awesome. Favorite restaurant? Sit down or table service? Doesn't matter.
Ohana.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm feeling that. Favorite character?
Mickey.
And then favorite show?
Wishes.
Yes.
Rest in peace. Rest in pieces.
But listen, that's another, I love Wishes is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But then people hate on Happily Ever After because like Wishes was better. Yes, but Happily Ever After makes me tear up every single time.
Nope. I don't get the feels.
Oh, I do. I
don't get the feels. I don't. And it makes me sad because I wanted to get the feels because it replaced Wishes. I can go back and watch Wishes now on YouTube or wherever, a video that I've taken myself, and I will still cry.
Yeah.
It gives me the feels. I don't get that same feeling with Happily Ever After.
See, I think so much of my love affair with Happily Ever After is tethered to my daughter.
Yeah.
And
that would do it.
If I'm being honest, it really is tethered to that. And I told the story to Piano Rob. So we're adoptive parents.
Mm-hmm.
I spent the first night in the hospital when my daughter was born. Both of us were there. And I had the first night shift. My wife was not feeling well. She had a migraine because we were just stressed out and up the whole night and the day before. So I took a few hours and so she started to fuss. I was a brand new dad. I didn't even know really how to hold a baby. So I'm holding her, trying to soothe her. And I don't know why. The first thing that came to my head is I started singing from Tarzan, "You'll Be in My Heart."
No.
So then flash forward to, I think, one of our first Disney trips, and we're watching that. And then that came on, and I was just, I was holding her again because it's the end of the day. She was tired.
Yeah.
But I was holding her again, and that came on. Vicky, I turned into a puddle because then before she was like 3.5, 4 years old at that point. And it just brought me right back to that first night that we put together.
Yeah.
It was a mess. So then that's it. So forever.
And that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. I totally get that. And it'll be tied to that forever. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it.
And that's a sweet story.
I love it. So I had an amazing time. Tell us where we can find you. Tell us some of your projects too. Cause I mean, we know the Instagram, it's at Mickey Mouse 321. But you have a lot of passions. You sent me the picture. You said
I do.
So tell us the project. Tell us where we can find you and what.
Okay. What I'm doing, pre-COVID, one of my favorite things to do was to volunteer at Give Kids a World Village. Huge passion project for me. Sadly, right now, we have to wait until March, but when they reopen, I'll be back volunteering there. I love the village. I love the kids. It's so much fun. It's so rewarding. Even if you're just down for a visit, take a day, take a few hours, and go volunteer in the village. They'll take whatever they can get. They don't care. Operate the rides, help in the cafeteria, whatever you can do. They take whatever they can get. And it really is amazing. It makes you feel so good when you leave. It's so uplifting. I did that. That was one of my pet projects. And from that pet project came a calendar, which is now sold out. Yay. Where I donated all the profits from the calendar that I made to the village.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We ended up donating $750 to the village just from calendar sales, which was incredible.
That's incredible. And that's what I love about the Disney community is it's clearly the photos are your passion, but then you turn that into a project where you made this gorgeous calendar. 100% of the proceeds went right to that cause. And that's when I was like, listen, it made me love you even more. I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to do. And and even my stupid Disney challenges, last year and the year before, I raised probably $2,500 just from riding rides in parks. You get people to donate money because there is a crazy group of fans out there that basically will try to ride every single ride in all 4 parks in one day. There is a small niche little community. It's insane how close everyone became over a silly challenge. Everybody loves it. It's crazy to follow along. We can't do it now because we can't park hop, but when it comes back, it's so much fun to do. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. You hurt for days afterwards. You take Epsom salt baths for days afterwards.
Oh.
It's usually 40 or 50,000 steps.
Wow.
And it's not, it's rough. It's rough.
So the next time you do that, you've got to like virtually live stream it through your story. I
absolutely have.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
It's a lot of fun.
And then anything else so we've got the Instagram. I love the challenge. I love your projects, your passion projects. What else?
One of my other, because again, I like challenges. When you're here local, you have to find ways to make the parks fun. You're there a few times a week. So you make do with what you've got. You have fun time, My goal was to knit on every single ride in all 4 parks. That one didn't happen in one day, but I did it. I have knit on every single ride in all 4 parks, the roller coasters and everything.
I love it. Yeah. She sends me a picture. She says, here are my 3 passions all combined into one. It was on Everest knitting and this really awesome, gorgeous photo. I was like, that is amazing. And I was like, that's going to be one of the captions for the soundbite for this episode. Mm-hmm. But Vicki, thank you so much. I know too, with like your really busy schedule that this was, it was tough to coordinate. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and to just introduce yourself to our audience. Again, like I said earlier, we're huge fans of your Disney life. That's what this podcast is all about, is just connecting with Disney fans and Disney content creators, getting their story, getting their Disney life, and just spreading that magic. So thank you for sharing your magic with us today. I really appreciate it. I loved it.
I had fun.
It. I'd love to have you come back again from time to time.
Hey, next time I don't mind.
Let's do it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. I had fun.
Thank you again to Vicki Mouse 321 for joining the show. We had a wonderful time talking about photography. Next week, we have Alicia Haig from Alicia's Closet on the show, and the two of us are going to break down all things Disney fashion, shopping, and just have a good time with her as well. Thank you so much for joining us every single week here at This Diz Life podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at This Diz Life podcast. And then, we would love for you to join us, as always, on our website, www.thisdizlifepodcast.com, where we have our blogs and just some really great content for all of our fans out there. Have a wonderful week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. I hope the rest of the week is filled with faith, trust, and pixie dust. We'll see you real soon.